welcome to my studio. Now today's tutorial is going to be making a infinity scarf using my hand spun yarn. This is pure merino and I spin it to a 5 gauge millimeter hook. Now you can use any yarn you like for this tutorial. But what I would suggest, so that makes your life easier, is go out and find a yarn that is for a gauge of a 5 millimeter hook, and use any yarn that is that gauge. I do single ply yarn and I spin to a 5, so that's why I know what I'm going to be using. You will need about 250 grams, which makes up about 500 meters of yarn. So that is 200 meters per skein I have. So that's 100 grams, 100 grams, and 50 gram. So that's 2, 4, and 5 meters of yarn. So I hope that makes sense. And what I need to do now is ball this up. But before we do, here are the tools. This is my 5 millimeter hook. This is from Furls, but do a test sample to just see if you need a 5 or a 4 or 4.5. But I know that I need a 5 for my tension. You will also need a stitch marker. This is our Lucky Platypus logo stitch marker. We do sell them, so drop me a line if you would like some of these. And we need our scissors and also your yarn needle. Okay, so let's get this balled up and let's get this project started. Now that you have got your yarn balled up, get the end of your yarn. You will be doing a slip knot. First thing you need to do is chain a chain that is long enough to wrap around your neck, go down to your belly button and back up again. Now how many that is going to be all depends on you and how tall you are. Now if you would like a shorter scarf, then you can go down to the bust area. If you would like a longer one, go even further. There should be enough yarn to go further. There's definitely enough yarn to go shorter. This is an infinity scarf that can be wrapped around your neck twice. And but if you did it shorter, you could make 2 infinity scarves, one for you, maybe one for a friend, but it wouldn't be able to wrap around your neck. It would only hang down once. Alright, so keep going and keep making your chain. I'll let you know how many chains I did to make it the length that I require. I do need to say though that you need to do this as a number of 8, because the pattern that we will be using through at various stages of this infinity scarf requires 8. So the pattern will be a multiple of 8. Alright, I will see you back here once you have done that. Here is my chain. Now it ended up being 176 stitches, which is a multiple of 8. And it is an infinity scarf, so you think at this stage we join it together to make the big circle. It's actually, for me, a little hard to do the circle when it's in the chain state. So what I do is I'll actually do the first row first, and then after that, then I'll join the chain and we'll work in the round from there. So what you need to do is now chain 1, and missing that chain 1 you just did, work into the back loop of the chain on each stitch. So the front has those V's and then the back, you turn it over and you'll see the little loop on the back there. That's where we're going to put the stitch. So yarn over, we're doing half double crochets, yarn over, missing that first stitch, going to the second one and going into the back loop there. Grab a yarn, pull it through, and then grab your yarn and pull through all the loops on the hook. Yarn over, going into the next loop on the back of that stitch, grab a yarn, pull it through, grab a yarn and pull through all the loops on the hook. Yarn over, going into that loop there, and keep making your way down every stitch until you've put into every single chain a stitch. And when you have done that, I will meet you back here and show you what you need to do next. Now that we have completed our first row of half double crochet, what we now need to do is join this chain, this together to make a round. So turn your work and then straighten your chain out. This can be tricky. Might be easy to take the hook out and smooth it along. Keep going. And then once you've got it all smoothed along, put your hook back in and slip your hook into the top of that first stitch. Grab a yarn and pull through both loops on the hook. Now chain one and just double check that it is all straight. Now don't be afraid if you have to do this a couple of times just to get it right. It is a long chain, but you definitely don't want to have a twist in it. And so far, so good. All right. So now that you've got it joined together and it's straight, we're continuing with the half double crochets, and this time we're just going into the top of each stitch. So yarn over, straight into the top of the stitch, grab a yarn, pull it through, grab a yarn and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over into the next stitch, grab a yarn, pull it through, grab a yarn, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. And keep doing your half double crochets all the way around until you get back to the beginning of this row. When you are at the beginning of the row, I will show you what you need to do next. Now that you have completed your second round of half double crochet, you need to make sure that it isn't twisted. So reline your yarn, your scarf up so that you know that it hasn't got any twist. Now it can twist as you're working on it, so work with it, twist it back, and you will get it straight again. And now I'm at the end of the round. I've got it twisted the right way, everything's lining up, and I need to join my row together. So all we need to do is just continue half double crocheting. What I would suggest first is get yourself a stitch marker and just mark that first half double crochet row that you did, so that you know that is row number 1 and you've done row number 2. We're going to join the row together by simply continuing our half double crochet straight into that first stitch that we started this row with, and this is called working in the round. And you just keep doing your stitches straight into the previous stitch. Just go straight into that stitch. So this is row number 3, and when you come back to where the stitch marker is, you just keep doing your stitches straight into that row. And you just keep working around and around until you have 5 rows. So this is 1, 2, we're working on 3, and after this row I'll have another 2. When you've done your 5 rows, I'll come back to you and tell you what we're doing next. Now don't worry about this gap that you're going to have down here. Don't worry about that at all, because right at the end, when we're finishing up our project, we're going to just sew that together, and I'll show you how to do that at the end. So for now, just do 5 rows, and when you get back to your 5th row here, I will meet you back here and show you what to do next. Now that you have completed your 5 rows of half double crochet, this 6th row is going to be your pattern row. So what we are going to do now is, in the next stitch, we are going to do 8 stitches of double crochet. So what you need to do is go yarn over, straight into the next stitch, grab a yarn, pull it through, then grab a yarn and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, grab a yarn and pull through the next 2 loops on the hook, yarn over into the next stitch, grab a yarn, pull it through, grab a yarn, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, grab a yarn and pull through the next 2 loops on the hook, yarn over into the next stitch, grab a yarn, pull it through, grab a yarn and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, grab a yarn and pull through the second 2 loops on the hook, and keep doing that until you have done 8 double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the next 8 stitches are going to be triple crochet. So that's putting the yarn over your hook twice, going into the next stitch, grab a yarn, pull it through, grab a yarn, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, grab a yarn, pull through the next 2 loops on the hook, and then grab a yarn and pull through the last 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over twice, go into the next stitch, grab a yarn, pull it through, grab a yarn and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, grab a yarn, pull through the next 2 loops, and grab your yarn and pull through the last 2 loops on the hook. And keep doing this until you have reached 8 stitches. So there are our 8 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the next one is going to be your double crochet. So 8 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the next 8 are your triple crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I always check that I've got my 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've actually done 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's why I always check, because it's so easy to do an extra one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I think I undid 2 now. Yeah, I undid 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the pattern. And hopefully you can see there that it's doing a wavy look. So it goes up and down, up and down. So keep doing your 8 double crochets followed by your 8 triple crochets, 8 double, 8 triple. And you should end up back here with an even number of 8. And then I will meet you back here to show you what you do next when you get back to the start of this pattern round. Okay, so we've finished our pattern row and you can see the wavy look there. And what we now do is just continue on in the round, and this time we are only going to be doing half double crochets, and we'll do this in the round for 10 rows this time. So at this point what I do is I bring my stitch marker up to where I started my half double crochets. I put my stitch marker in there, and then I know that is row number 1 of the 10 rows. So you're just working in the round just like you did down here. You just keep going in the round for 10 rows. When you've done that, I will meet me back here and I'll show you what you need to do next. Now that you have finished those 10 rows, we are now going to repeat that pattern row for 1 row. And that, if you remember, that was 8 double crochet, 8 treble crochet, 8 double, 8 treble, so on and so forth. So if you remember, into the next stitch we're going to do a double crochet, so yarn over, straight into that stitch, grab your yarn, pull it through, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 on the hook, grab your yarn, pull through the next 2 on the hook, yarn over, straight into the next one, so doing a double crochet, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then into the next 8 stitches treble. So if you remember, it's over twice. Go into the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull it through, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, grab your yarn, go through the next 2 loops on the hook, and grab your yarn and go through the last 2 loops on the hook. Remembering you're doing that 8 times. And then the next, the 8 double, and then the 8 treble, and then the 8 double, and so on and so forth until you get back to the end of this row, or the beginning of the row. Now what I would suggest is move your stitch marker up to the first double crochet that you did in that row, so you know where the start of your row is. Continue doing that row, and when you get back to the beginning, I will meet you back here and show you what you need to do next. Now we have finished that decorative row. We will now continue on in the round 5 rows of half double crochet. So just go straight into the next stitch with a half double crochet and keep going around. At this point I would suggest bring your stitch marker up to that first half double crochet, so you know where your start and end of your first round is, and then complete 5 rounds. When you have done that, come back to here and I'll show you what to do next. So we have just completed our next set of 5 half double crochets, and now our next row is going to be the pattern row. So this will be the 3rd time we've done the pattern row. Now this time when you do the pattern row, follow that by 10 half double crochets. So let's run through that again. The first one was 5 half double crochets, pattern row, 10 half double crochets, pattern row, 5 half double crochets, pattern row, and now so after that pattern row you're going to do 10 half double crochets. So what I'm going to do, you should have sussed out by now how to do your pattern rows. And I'm going to leave you, remember your next stitch is going to be a double crochet. So 8 double crochet followed by 8 treble crochet, 8 double crochet, 8 treble crochet, 8 double, till you get back to the end. And then just continuing on with 10 half double crochet rows. When you finish that next section, I'll meet you back here and tell you what to do next. We have now completed those 10 rows. So that row of decorative stitching and then that row of 10 half double crochets. We're up to the last panel now. So this next row is going to be a row of your decorative stitching. So remember, 8 double crochets followed by 8 treble crochets all the way around. And then following is going to be 5 rows of half double crochet. So once again, this time it is going to be 1 row of your decorative stitching followed by 5 rows of your half double crochet. And when you have finished that, I will meet you back here and show you what we need to do next. And there we are, all finished. I hope you have enjoyed making this infinity scarf. I love this yarn. It's a pleasure to spin up, and this wool is super soft, gorgeous colors, and it's been a pleasure to spin this for you. If you are interested in any of my other tutorials, I have oodles on my site, so go knock yourself out and try something a little bit more difficult, or just something really easy like a headband or a beanie. I don't mind. Like, subscribe and all that good stuff, and take care, everybody. Bye, everyone.